Rat Talk, motherfucker. Get down with it, identity, shitting all over all that fake bitches. Man, I kinda smoking dank, kicking ass on the side. Bringing that flavor, she elevating the vibe. Boom, bitty, bye-bye, who's getting high? Everybody is, bitch, watch your time flies with that real talk with a steel cog. Taste it, cheers with a twist and your chin on your faces. Podcast basics, aced it, going ape shit. Up the ante when they blaze and I take it in. From the gays to the scum to the friends. Every Wednesday when the day ends, all enemies wish they had this energy. This is Ratt Talk, catch an ice bag injury. Y'all moving like a motherfucking centipede. We accelerate just to devastate the industry. Horse got the boss swing, this could be the enemy. Turn that fucking mic on, I guess we'll have to see Ratt Talk.
And Ratt Talk begins, motherfuckers, with a whole new episode. Sorry, I actually haven't been posting the episodes on SoundCloud or anything, but we're gonna fucking fix that. We're gonna post the episodes right after we're done shooting the live feed. So anybody watching the live feed that tunes in later, if they want to hear the whole episode now, they'll be able to right after this. So keep it fresh on your mind. But we're here with my guests, the Human Extinction, Steven and Anthony. What up, motherfuckers?
What's up, man?
You look super excited to be here, bro. Steven especially. You look like you're ready to fucking party, dude.
As always.
Yeah, man. Well, as before, I had you guys. I played your guys' song on a past episode and everything. So of course that guy had to get you guys on and get you in here for an interview and all that good shit. So let's hop right into it, man. When did the Human Extinction begin? That sounds
at birth.
I was in. It was my junior year of high school where I met one of our vocalists in the past.
Okay.
And we just started talking about like getting a band going, and throughout senior year we just like got it going, like finding different people to jam with, and then started playing some shows.
What year was that?
Like 2011.
Oh, okay.
2010, 2011.
Okay.
And then we were just like playing shows, and we recorded a demo.
I mean, so this band is 8 years strong. Then that's when it started.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's been 8, yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, if it was 2010, if it was 2010.
Yeah, well,
back then
it had a different name. We're known as Seize the Day.
Lame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. So, but it was you and your vocalist that you jammed out with. You guys started Seize the Day.
Yeah.
And then later it changed to the Human Extinction, or did you guys was it still the same group of people
it was basically like a whole other band.
Okay.
But what happened was we started off playing like metalcore mixed with like thrash and something like that, and then like fast forward a few years later, we kind of wanted to like change things up and like
expand your horizons and like start playing a little more.
Yeah, so we kind of we basically just changed.
Started getting more complex, basically, because metalcore and thrash, that's very. Very, very basic. I mean, it's still hard. Like, there's still technicality to it, but I mean, as far as like music wise, it's very power chord.
Yeah.
Power chord. What's the word I'm fucking thinking of?
Yeah.
God damn it.
No, I know what you
Scale.
mean.
There you go.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Like the thing that you stand on.
Yeah, we just wanted to like, I don't know, kind of like change
it up.
Just like change it up. So like, we basically just took a break.
Yeah, well, but was that because like you just started listening to different music? Because I know a lot of people are like that. Like they'll be like, oh yeah, like I want to sound this way, and then they hear this one really good band, like nah, fuck that. Now we got to change it up and be more like these guys. Like
yeah, like we're just growing as musicians, and we got to this point where like the internal like relationships were like getting kind of weird, and the music like
life happens, and
so like I don't know, like I just had this feeling that I should just step away for a little bit. So we basically just like some people left, some people were fired, and it was just me and him, and he did his own thing, and I left and I did my own thing, and I joined the band Unscarred. And when at the time when I joined, Steven was playing bass, so that's where I met Steven.
Oh, okay.
And I just did that for like, I don't know, like a year or two or something. And
played on Unscarred for about a year.
Yeah. So I just wanted to like I said, I'd take a break, but I was still in the scene. Like I still wanted to like get experience and meet people and like keep going.
I mean, and you're playing shows too, like in backyard gigs and everything, getting familiar with all the other artists and all the other musicians that are trying. Fuck, I just shrink.
Yeah, we were just playing shows, and we did like a few weekend runs, like up to the Bay Area and stuff like that.
Oh shit, okay.
So just like getting experience, meeting people, and like I was
getting familiar with the scene, basically.
Yeah, I mean, like I was in the scene like with this band before that whole break thing. But I still wanted to like stay in it. Like I didn't want to like completely walk away from music or anything.
Yeah.
I wanted to just like, it was just a band that I wanted to like step away from and do something else. And like
your heart was still with the music of the scene and everything. Just that group of people that you're with in particular were like, you could have done without.
Yeah,
you'll be okay without. I mean,
yeah, like I always knew that I was gonna like come back to this band and get it going again. But I just wanted to do something else for a while, and which I'm glad I did, because in that time I like learned a lot from like the people in that band and like people in the scene, and like I met a lot of people. I got a lot of experience, and I met him, which is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, and then basically he left that band, and I was in the band still, and he was looking for something to start playing guitar and getting a project going again, because he was playing bass, but guitar was more his.
Oh, okay.
So. And
did you only played guitar, or do you? I mean,
I play a little bit of drums and.
No, I'm sorry. But like in bands, like you were only playing. You're only the guitarist in bands and shit. Oh, okay. But you do drum and like you do dabble on other instruments and whatnot.
Drums has been a while. Piano, like rare. But yeah, mostly it's
just to know like the technical part of it and shit, like just to brush up on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so so you meet him and everything. You left. When did you start playing, getting into the scene and everything, and like what were the bands that you played with before you met Anthony?
Well, it was really weird because I played music, but it was more I played music with my friends throughout high school. And I didn't really break into like the SoCal music scene until maybe like 2012.
Oh, okay.
And it was more of the bands from the IE, like the Veil Between, Sangre. Like those were a lot of the bands that I hung out with.
Okay.
So the area that I actually lived in, which at the time I lived in El Monte, like I didn't know any of them. But then just being a part of that, there were some bands from this area that I started seeing, which one of them was Carnivorous Bastard. So I was familiar with that. I fronted my own band called Keep What You Kill, which
nice.
was me and my friend Edson that you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, our mutual friend. He played guitar in that band with me.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, that fell apart. So then I was looking for something to do.
And you said this was all like 2012?
2012 is when I got into the scene.
When you started playing in the band was...
Yeah, Keep What You Kill was like 2013.
Okay, so like a year after you were in the scene, you're like, fuck, I wanted to start. You wanted to get your own thing going.
Yeah, because I would support all these bands and everything, but I never had my own thing to bring in. Most of them didn't even know I played guitar.
Oh, okay.
So it was just kind of like, they were my friends and everything. Yeah. But then... So I was like, all right, I'm going to start my own thing. So I did that. It kind of fell apart. So then about 2013, 2014, somewhere around there, I saw that Carnivorous Bastard started posting that they were looking for a bass player. I had just bought a bass.
You're like, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just kind of like...
and they're a band that you were already interested in. Like,
I liked their stuff. I was like, I could play this on bass, easy. So I went to audition. It was a weird audition process because I showed up. According to the guitar player, he just kind of thought of like the most difficult riff for me to write over. And I did. And then I didn't hear from him for like a month. And then he started posting again. We're still looking for a bass player. So I hit him. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah. What the fuck? Why didn't you say anything?
And then he was like, oh, yeah, just come through. We'll jam. We have a drummer and a guitar player that we're messing with.
What,
Like, oh, yeah,
forgot about you. I know.
Yeah.
Like, you just forgot about you. Like-
So I showed up. He just told me to pretty much like at this point I was already in college, and when I started college, which is how I met Edson, and more importantly, how I met Ivan, which is how I know all of you.
yeah.
Was I was doing the music program at Rio, so I was developing my ear and developing in theory and all that stuff. So he pretty much just told me like, oh, here's our songs, just kind of learn them by ear, try to figure them out. Which, since I was already doing all that kind of stuff, it was pretty easy for me to figure out the root note and then kind of build something off of that.
Yeah, especially if you're already learning about it, like in an actual class, like you know, professionally. Like once you start recognizing the notes and everything, I mean, I'm sure it all came natural.
Just hear it, and you pick up on it, and bass is a little simpler from.
So did they even accept you at all at any point?
Yeah, they finally did. I went to that one. I jammed through it, but being that I knew somewhat what I was talking about, and somewhat like just the sound of if something's in key or not, I just straight up told him, I was like, hey, I don't think we should keep that guitar player that we played with today. And then he was like, oh, why? And I was like, everything he played was off key. And and he showed up, which it was an audition. He showed up with like a 6-pack, and he was like drinking the whole time, and I was like, he's not taking this very seriously.
Yeah, first of all, he's here to fucking party. Like he's here to try to be a rock star, not a fucking bandmate, or like he's not here to play music. Like he's here to fucking make money or something.
Yeah. So I was just pretty much like, I don't think that dude should stick around.
I mean, if you are gonna bring a 6-pack,
at least play in key.
Actually, no. If you're gonna bring beer in general, like bring an 18-pack and share with everybody, and don't drink any. Like, oh, here, this is for you guys. And every time, like, oh, you want a beer? No. Like, there you go. Like shows here. I'm here for you guys too. Like, but I mean, yeah, if you're just showing up for a 6-pack and loaded by yourself, that's kind of like, pass.
Yeah. So I got into that band pretty easily. I think I was like the only one even auditioning on bass anyways, but
wait, so you were auditioning but the other guy wasn't, or
no,
he was
everybody was auditioning.
Oh, okay.
But he came through, and it was just like, I was like, this dude's not very good. He's playing out of key, and like I was just like, I don't think this is the right dude, like, because he like asked me about it. I was like, I don't think this is the right dude.
Oh, okay.
Which, as fate would have it, which is that spot was open, which led to him joining later.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
and is that Unscarred? Like, it was a different name at that point?
It was a different name. So I got into the band. I was told that I would be helping with writing and everything because, I knew what I was doing. I knew how to structure a song.
Yeah. You had a talent for this thing. Like, you had knowledge, and you knew what the fuck you were talking about.
Yeah, but then things just didn't really go that way.
I think they call that creative differences in the industry. We had some creative differences, so we disbanded for a while.
it ended up more because I was being told, because it was a new name, like that we're going to rebrand everything. So I was like, all right, perfect. Like, we could take parts of the old stuff and start making them into something new, start making it cool.
Making them better.
And instead, it was just, I just wanted to use the old songs. And I didn't sign up for that, so I ended up leaving in, I want to say late 2014 or early 2015, somewhere around there.
Okay,
no, late 2014 for sure.
Late 2014. So you've been playing, and you've been in the scene, playing in the scene for a year now, at this point.
Roughly, yeah.
And then, so what happened after you disbanded? How did you feel after you left? Like, did you know that you're like, yeah, like this guy knows what he's talking about, I should, stay in contact with him? Or how did your friendship blossom, I guess, after that point?
Well, I like being an Unscarred when he was like in the band. I definitely like noticed, the
dedication.
Yeah, the dedication, the seriousness, and the talent that he had. And, he was playing bass in that band, and he was, like, badass. And I was like, damn, like, it'd be sick if he was, like, if he tried out for, like, Human Extinction or something for bass. But then, like, one day you, like, brought your 8-string or something. And that's when I saw him play guitar. And I was like, oh, fuck no. Like, you can use to play guitar.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, no, fuck no, he's too good, man. We can't have him in here.
Yeah. Yeah, so, like,
man.
when he left, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, you know, whatever. And then one day he, like, posted, like, well, I'm looking for a project, you know, playing guitar. So then we just started, like, talking. And then we eventually met up. And then it was just, like, it was real, like, no-brainer, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, all right, yeah, and we're like, this is going to be the lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously, you had mentioned earlier that it's a different lineup now. It's the whole different members of the band and everything. You two are pretty much the ones that stuck it out the entire time, right?
Yeah.
Well, at that point, it was just him and the vocalist again because he, yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't even a full set yet. Like at that point, it was just a 3-piece, you two guys, and then the vocals.
Yeah, like around the time that he left Unscarred, it was like kind of sort of when I was like, all right, I'm kind of feeling like it's time
to start a new thing. Yeah,
yeah, to start the Human Extinction again. And so I had him in mind, and then eventually we met up and hit it off, and everything like started working out. So then we started working on the music. We spent like 9 months or something like that, just like focusing on the music, like nothing else, like not even looking for like members, because we just wanted to like get something solid.
Yeah, exactly. You want to have a foundation to show people like, oh, look, this is our project, this is what we're working on already. Let's like, like if you want to fucking do this, we're ready to jump on and get things rolling.
Yeah, because we already knew that like if we just try to find people right off the bat, like it's just gonna like. No one's going to care, and, like, we want to find serious people. Yeah. So, like, it was kind of like that, so we just started working on the music, and, like...
Which I go to, because, so that's how it is. That's how it was for me and my buddy when we wanted to start something. Like, we didn't really have anything... We didn't have anything started. Like, we had songs, but we didn't have them recorded. We didn't really have them structured or even lyrics over them, so when we went and tried to find people, they were very, very resistant, Like, they would be like, oh, yeah, like, we'll show up and, jam out for like 20 minutes and then never hit us back up, shit like that. Like it's good to have a foundation already that you're gonna push off you're gonna push off on.
It's hard to build a foundation without those people coming through, because sometimes it's just how everything comes together. If you, you have
well, I mean, what it is you have to have the people dedicated to it. That I'm pretty sure it was a big plus having Steven here, knowing how to structure a song already. Like even though there were no drums, I'm pretty sure you had an idea of what the drums would have sounded like already, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
funny enough, though, when he first showed me the Human Extinction, because he had asked me about if I was interested in joining the band or in trying out. I mean. He sent me a song which, for some reason, the ex-vocalist will not take down.
Is that like a pride thing? Like it's his song and he's just like, nah, this is my baby, or he just kind of left it there.
It might be because there was a whole weird thing when we kicked him out, but we'll get to that later. It's a song called Heavy Rain, which if you're familiar with our stuff at all, you'll know that song as Vile. But it was the shittiest version of that song. It was like
Heavy Rain was the shitty version.
Heavy Rain. Like the lyrics were about a video game. The guitars were out of key. It was structured super weird. It made absolutely no sense. And then everything was just super sloppy. He showed me this, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, I don't want to play that."
And then there's a demo version before that's even shittier.
Oh man,
it's pretty.
And but was it his song that he wrote and structured himself, or?
Well, no, we all just kind of wrote it,
Oh, okay. You all wrote it together, and then the after product was just like, man, the song's kind of not good.
Yeah, we're we're teenagers, we don't know what we're doing. We're just putting this shit together, and then 2 years later, you're just like, what the fuck? This sucks. And it's hilarious because at the time,
you thought it was fucking great.
When you're really young, writing shit.
You're very naive and biased.
We're gonna get fucking signed. This shit is fucking sick.
This is fucking #1 Billboard right here, dude.
yeah. It's that whole thing, and then a year later, you're like, no, that sucks.
Yeah. So he sent me that, and I was like, I don't like this at all.
So when you guys were making the songs, were you doing it on GarageBand, just doing a drum machine type thing, or was it only guitar tracks?
Well, for
and
the
vocal.
beginning, like I said, I didn't like that song at all. But he was like, "Oh, we got other songs that we're working on." So he came through. He showed me those songs. So what I did was, at the time, he didn't know any theory or how to play in key or any of that stuff. So I was like, "All right, well, sit here. I'll get on the computer," and I did everything in a Guitar Pro.
Oh, nice.
He
Okay.
played everything, and I counted it out with my finger. I was like, "All right, this is the meter. All right, play." And I was like,
Yeah,
"Okay,
like,
one,
this is
two,
the tempo
three,
right here.
4." And I was like, "All right, so that sounds like you're playing in 120. All right, this will fill out the 4/4 bar." And I started typing everything in, and then I'll play it back. I'm like, "Hey, does this sound like what you were thinking of?" And then from there, I was like, "All right," I was like, "Give me a couple days, and I'm going to take this apart. I'm going to change parts. I'm going to structure it a little differently. I'm going to add some leads. I'm going to do everything, and then we'll see if we have a full song." I did that with all of the songs that he gave me. So
just kind of breaking them down and like mathematically putting them back together,
Yeah.
pretty much like.
yeah, like our song "Martial Law," which it's one of our simpler songs, but the first rendition of that song that he showed me had like 8 or 9 riffs in it, and like all the shit, and I was just like, okay, there's so much extra going on here. I'm like, you're just going from part to part to part. Like we need to come back to something.
Dude, what is up? Like, okay, like I'm sorry because the guy that I jam it with, he fucking does that all the time. And we actually last night we jammed out and he said that he's like, yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like I want to put more riffs. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I went back and looked and we have 7 riffs already in the song. And I was like, we don't need any more fucking riffs, dude. Like, so I mean, really, like, is that like what? Is that really impossible to do though? Like, to have a song with so many riffs, or are you still able to like to break them down and be able to use them all in a time like in a good way that makes a good, well structured song?
Well, there's definitely songs that have like a lot of riffs in it that we have. Like, I think Equilibrium has quite a bit of riffs.
Yeah,
because that's our longer song, and we did it in like movement form. Rather than being like, okay, here's the chorus, we're gonna bring this back later. Here's the first movement, here's the second movement, here's the third movement. So, yeah, like it's
okay.
Yeah, so there was just
it's not impossible, but it's I'm pretty sure it's a lot of work. Like it's a lot of
the times it's
memorizing.
unnecessary. It's there's way too many parts in the song. You could have narrowed it down to a few less, and it would have been a lot better.
Like chopped it up in half and had 2 songs instead, or something.
Yeah, because I'm all about songwriting, and that's why a lot of our songs stay towards the simpler side. Because because the way I see it, a song shouldn't be about how much you could jam into it, like how much you could show off, how much crazy stuff's going on. It like the songs that stand the test of time.
Tell a story, tell a story, and like you can you feel the the
there's
work
something that gets stuck in your head.
They're
There's a
cohesive.
rhythm that you like.
They make sense. They're not, because if you try to throw too much crap on it, then it's just it's kind of like a painting that hurts your eyes, except musically.
Yeah.
And is that how you write? Like, is that how you wrote those? Like, just riff after riff, like just play it hard, play it out there. Like in the beginning, at least. Like, was that the mindset, pretty much for you?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, back then I was just like,
well, especially coming from especially coming from a metalcore thrash, you're just like, it's like it's always in your face, kind of just keep it going the entire time.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of wanted to like take that break because I was like, I need to like regroup and kind of like have some sort of
get a better understanding of music and what the music and what you want to do, like what you want to hear and what you want to play at the same time. I mean, because I'm sure you. I mean, now, like you guys are probably writing even better shit, than you were. Obviously, better shit than you were when you first got together.
Yeah, because it was just like perfect, because when we met up, it was like, all right, like we're back in this, like we want to get more progressive, we want to get out of our comfort zone, and I want to change the sound, like I want to explore, and with his help, it was perfect because it was just like, dude, like we're rebuilding all the songs and everything, but like it was for the best. It was to make the music better. So I was on board, I wasn't like offended or anything. It was just, it was like, yeah, dude, like that's
which a lot of people do. You know, a lot of people get like, well, dude, like I fucking wrote this, man. Like, why are you changing it? It's my, you know, it's my fucking baby. Like,
yeah, which is why I left that last band.
Yeah. I mean, because I used to be like, well, I mean, I don't know if I'm still. I haven't played in a fucking band in, you know, I don't know how long, but like, it's weird taking criticism, you know, that first time. So it's good that you guys finally have like you can look past that, like, fuck it, dude, like this isn't about us.
Set the differences aside and just, okay, does this work? Does this not work?
It's not about us. It's about the fucking music. Like, let's make something beautiful. Let's make magic, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I always do. Like, if he has a criticism on something I wrote, or if he changes something that I wrote, I'll always put it back. I'll listen to the whole thing with the part in, and then I'll listen to it with what I wrote. And just if I like it better, if it makes more sense, I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, fuck it. Like, yeah, you're right. You know, it sounds better that way. Let's just fucking do it that way. So in the beginning, then everybody was writing their songs pretty much. It was all a group effort, or was it like?
It was mostly me and him.
Oh, okay.
The other vocalist, he was just kind of like waiting around. And just kind of like, I guess, waiting for everything to just be like done and recorded, ready for. And then,
he was just waiting, like, write it down, everything, and then I'll come deliver pretty much the voice, the sound.
Yeah, and that's what kind of like led up to like we didn't really want to work with him anymore.
Okay, so but it's mainly you two that are writing the songs and everything. I'm pretty sure you're the one that comes up with the riffs, and then you kind of like perfect it, and then vice versa. When you come up with the riff and everything, you let him hear it, see how it, how it comes out.
Yeah, it's totally collaborative. We just do Guitar Pro back and forth, and then yeah,
like there was a few songs that I brought almost completely done into the band, like our song Lex Talionis. There was like 2 changes that he made, and then Equilibrium was pretty much almost completely written already by the time I got in, because we were actually going to use parts of it for Unscarred. But again, because the guy who was running the show didn't write it, he didn't want it, which super happy about, because
now it's yours. Like
it's so much better than anything that they would have done with it. Like, they
would have just fucking butchered it.
Yeah, it's way better, like, in our hands than it was in anybody else's.
Yeah,
but there was a few of those, and then everything else was pretty much, he had the pieces already there, so I was like, all right, let me put it together and see what I can make. Then I add some leads in. I'll maybe double some parts, maybe have one guitar doing something else, and
harmonize.
Yeah, and then I'd send it back to him, like, okay, what do you think about this? And then he'd just be like, oh, well, what do you think about changing this part to this? And then we just keep on going back and forth until we had something complete. And it was
that's got to be super good. Like, that's got to be super easy too, especially when you are trying to recruit people. Like, you can just send them the fucking Guitar profiles. Like, look, like, this is it, man. Like, it's like it's written out already for you. Just fucking play along with it. Do what you can, and let's see what you got.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It makes it a lot easier, because you don't need to like memorize everything. It's just all written down,
documented.
Yeah, and then if you need to learn it,
that's got to be fucking beautiful too. Like, just I mean, I'm pretty sure it's happened a bunch of times with even big name bands like Metallica. Fucking like James Hetfield will go out on stage and be like, I forgot the fucking words. Like, it's like,
yeah, like Kirk Hammett just was I think it was a year ago. He was talking about he lost his phone, and he said he had 200 riffs recorded on there that are gone forever.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like,
so it's like, yeah, like,
you gotta pass it, man. Yeah,
just save it on the computer.
Save it there.
And then even if we lose it on the computer, like, there's emails going back and forth.
Yeah, it's backed up somehow.
Emails.
Fuck.
I know. That's why it's better to save everything online. Like, as a student now, I put everything on Google Docs, because in case your computer crashes or whatever, it's on the internet. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I have older stuff saved up on there too. Yeah, so it was just kind of like like we met pretty much at the perfect time, because it was I got most of my education, at least, and then I had the experience with everything, and then I also had a business background, so I knew what are the right moves, what are the wrong moves, and then on top of that,
not to sign anything too quick, not to
yeah, and then on top of that, I just by observing other bands in the scene, I saw what works and what doesn't, and what doesn't work. What doesn't work is what like 99% of them are doing.
Yeah,
which is play shows. We'll get to recording later. We don't need to promote. We just need to get people at the shows, play a show every weekend.
Yeah.
And
that's expensive, dude. That in itself is super expensive. Like you said, like, no, we shouldn't be doing our recording. We should just be playing shows. But if you take into consideration, the gas money, the money that you spend on drinks and booze and
the pay to play.
And then pay to play shit, like all that money that you just spent in 1 month, if you would have just dedicated to a few sessions in a studio, you could have had like 3 decent recordings enough that you can send to somebody in fucking Oklahoma. Yeah. And then be like, oh yeah,
or just put it out there online and reach a wider audience.
Yeah, because the biggest thing,
and then you can have more people to bring to your shows.
Yeah, because the biggest thing when you're, because it's one thing to play a show, it's another thing to actually have an audience.
Yeah.
So
exactly, yeah.
What's like the first thing I always do as soon as I see a lineup with a band that I like? What do these other bands sound like? So I go and check that out, and if they're good, I'll show up early. If they're not, I won't. And if there's no music, then I can't have an opinion, so I show up later.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out of my way to check out a band that might possibly be shitty.
Yeah, exactly.
It also kind of shows how dedicated they are to their band. If they
very fucking smart. Go ahead.
It shows how dedicated they are to the band. If they're willing to invest the time and money to record, they're not just about like, partying, just like, we're going to do this and play shows here and there. Like if they actually invest the time and money and effort into recording, it shows, okay, they've got their shit together. They're taking this seriously. Like, they're worth the listen. If they feel they're worth recording, then they're worth the listen.
And I didn't even think about that. Like, there are totally people out there that are gonna look, see bands on flyers and like, I never heard of these guys, and look them up. Like, you need to have something to look up too. Like in this era, like in this time frame, like in the world of the internet that we're in right now.
Bare minimum, at least an Instagram page with some of your like videos of you guys jamming out, like that at the very least is just something, because obviously studio fees, it's expensive, but
I mean, but even rough recordings that you did fuck it, just like wrap your phone in a towel real quick and throw it in the garage while you guys jam, like at least something. Like, fuck, I didn't even think about that. That was fucking genius.
that was a big thing, because the number one thing that everyone's always talking about is, which I still get hit up to this day, and it's super annoying because I know how weird people in the scene are. People always ask me, so what are you doing with the band? Oh, that's cool. When are you going to start playing shows? And I'm always thinking in the back of my head, like, what the fuck does it matter to you? It's not like you're going to show up.
Yeah.
So, because people are so weird in the scene, which is why after all that went down, I separated myself from the scene.
Yeah.
I no longer associate with most of those people because it's so weird. I supported so many bands. As soon as I had a band of my own, they didn't give a shit. Yeah. And it's the same thing now.
Yeah.
Like, I've had people where all they do is post about support your local scene. Oh, your favorite band used to be a local band and all this dumb shit. But then I've had one of them say to my face at a show, "Oh yeah, I saw you guys posted a video. That was cool." I'm like, okay, why aren't you supporting it? Why aren't you sharing it? Why aren't you doing any of this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Support your locals, motherfucker.
Yeah, like we come out with a video, nowhere to be seen. There's no support anywhere. It's just they have clicks. And if you're not a part of the clique, they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
people like to make them seem a little more exclusive.
That's a sad reality too that we just got to deal with. Like, some people, like they just don't give a shit. Yeah.
Victor Salazar says amen, and he wishes he was here.
You might be hearing from him soon with us.
What?
Well, then, since we're going to talk about members and everything, if you want to talk about some stories between the dynamic between everybody, we'll get into that right now. What we'll do right now, this minute though, is take a quick musical break. We'll go ahead and play one of your music videos that you guys did of Transcendence. This video actually doesn't it also introducing a new bassist?
No,
that one wasn't this video.
No, that was Transcendence has. You can put her video on. It's on our page. It's our our bass player Sydney, who's not here sadly because she's working.
Fuck work, dude.
Her introduction to the band was a playthrough of Transcendence on the bass.
That's what I watched.
Yeah,
but this is the actual the video for the song in its entirety right now. We'll go ahead and play this for you guys, and then we'll be right back in a couple minutes. Dude, who shot that video? You did.
You did?
Really?
That's pretty good.
That was that whole fucking like
The split screen.
yeah the space thing. That's what I'm trying to think.
Oh,
The fucking out the sky, whatever that.
the space.
Yeah, that whole space sequence was fucking dope.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
just that sequence took probably like 2 days.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's badass.
Yeah.
But okay, so where did you shoot that at? First of all,
We went to Arizona.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say Azusa Canyon. Like, is this just right
I
here, all
know.
local and shit?
No,
Have some random hikers in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on, guys?
I ended up going to Arizona with our drummer at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think February 2016, something like that. And while we were there, he was gonna go play with his cousin's band,
Mhm.
and they ended up really liking our stuff. So we were talking to them, and he was telling us about all these cool spots to shoot videos and all this stuff, and that
Oh, okay.
if he was going to come help them out on drums again, that we should all come down. So then we ended up going again like a couple months later, and I brought him with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we just decided on a week to go. So we ended up bringing the whole band to Arizona,
Nice.
and then we shot the video.
Was it all done in one day, or did you guys spend a couple days shooting?
No, it was just a few
It was
hours.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't have to plug anything in, obviously.
Yeah, which was, if we didn't know the song so well, it would have been a shit show because we rented a what's it called?
A generator.
Yeah, we rented a generator. We
Really?
went through everything. We brought a PA, and then no one had a cord. We couldn't play the song at
Oh
all.
my
so,
God.
And then the drummer barely knew the song,
Uh-huh.
but he was like, "I think I could play like to the song itself." So that's why in the video there's
That's why he has the headphones.
yeah, he has earbuds.
I was actually gonna comment about it too. Like, dude, I was like, dude, like he's got a monitor on. There's nothing fucking even plugged in. Like,
yeah, he was listening to the
so he was actually listening to the fucking
he was
song.
listening to the song on his phone, and then we just knew the song so well
that you could just go off of him.
Yeah, we could just go off the drums and we were able to play it, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
dude.
I would have never known.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like months of planning.
Really, yeah.
When we finally got there was like so much going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were like stressed out.
Like
our
we were
minds.
told that we would have a location set. We were told we would have this and this and that, and none of that happened. So literally that day, like
I was gonna say, how do you have a location like?
Well, he was scoping it out for us for
Oh, okay.
like a month prior.
Uh-huh.
Like sending
He was
us
like, "Oh, I'm
pictures.
I'll find a spot for you guys. That'd
yeah.
be pretty cool, you know."
And then we finally found the spot, and we couldn't get access to it. He said he would have it all done for us, and
Why was it on private property?
no, it was
closed up or something.
yeah, it was like in a little like national park kind of deal, but they had the big gates closed,
Yeah.
so we couldn't get through. So then we're like, oh, well, he was like telling us, oh, well, if we go off of this hill, we could go down there and cross. But the hill was super high up, and we had to bring down.
You
a
gotta
drum
carry all of
kit
your
and-
gear. Yeah, you have to bring down a whole drum kit and your fucking
so
guitars and all that
we
shit.
started moving it, and then once we got like 3 pieces down, we're like, okay, we need to find somewhere else. So we ended up just driving around like the back alleys of like that area,
Mm-hmm.
and we found that spot. And then the people that lived around there were cool enough where they came over because obviously the drum kits is super loud.
Yeah.
And they were just like, hey, what are you guys doing over here? We're like, oh, we're shooting a video.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's not going to go late and everything. They're like, oh, no worries. We
Yeah.
just wanted to see what's happening.
That's cool.
That's
I mean,
cool.
yeah, that's cool that dude. There's because there's some places that you try to go shoot a video and there's like an angry old lady out there like, what the fuck are you doing?
Calling the cops and
Yeah,
everything.
call the cops and
people
shit.
the people in we're in Prescott, Arizona, and the people there were just super like polite.
Super nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Nothing like LA.
it was super weird. Like
Well, actually, I hear a lot that a lot of cool people live in that area.
yeah. I think it's just because it's such a small town. It's just like less
Yeah.
friction between people.
Probably.
No
Yeah.
traffic.
Yeah, we had to go to the show that they played was at
The Lizard or something. Something
yeah,
like
it was like a little bit away, so we had to hit the freeway. We got there in like 5-10 minutes. Like
All flying, doing 80 down the goddamn fucking
that. Oh,
the highway.
that was when we were going to Sedona.
Oh, Sedona too. That took like no time. Like we just got there. It was weird. It was like a long drive, and most of it was on the freeway. And
it's like a 30-mile drive, and you got there in 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was funny. They had one of those like construction like electric signs that said like traffic jam or something ahead.
Yeah,
and it was like a minute delay. We're like, oh, this is their traffic jam.
Yeah, we're sitting in the van like all the
traffic jam going less than 60.
Yeah, it's like they needed it to post a sign because you'd be delayed like a couple minutes.
You'd be delayed 2 minutes.
Right, we're expecting like LA, like, oh fuck, dude, like you get there late.
Yeah, we
like
even went to the one of the bigger cities. We went to Flagstaff, so it was like an hour and a half drive or something like that. I'm like, oh, this is gonna take forever. It's gonna be crazy traffic. We got on there. We did not even like remotely slow down.
It was the same pace the entire way.
That was on a Friday going to one of the bigger cities in Arizona, and it was nothing. It was weird.
Like out there, that's the city. You know, like, oh, we're gonna go into the city. That's the fucking city, and it wasn't even fucking anything.
It was weird. Over here, just to go from small town to small town takes like an hour.
Yeah,
takes 30 minutes to go like 6 miles.
Yeah,
for real. Yeah, that's true.
When I lived in El Monte, it would take like half an hour, sometimes 45 minutes to get to West Covina.
Oh, yeah, fuck dude. Yeah.
It's just like, geez.
An hour to get into LA. Depending where,
Depending where. It takes 30 minutes to get into like Pasadena.
Could take up to like 2 hours
shit,
to go to Hollywood. That's only 12 miles.
So back to the music video, though. You were saying that none of those members are even in the band anymore.
No. Slowly, one by one. At the end of that trip, we had the drummer wasn't in the band anymore.
By the end of that trip?
Yeah, by the end of that trip.
Wow.
Like you shot a music video, then a couple days later, yeah, dude.
It was really weird. Yeah, like through that whole trip, like there was a lot of fun, but God, like I got so pissed off so many times just dealing with everybody. Because with
it wasn't the Dave Mustaine thing, like he was just an asshole, right? Or was it like
no? One of them was.
Yeah. Okay.
One of them kept on getting drunk, kept on getting stupid. I kept on thinking, am I gonna have to hit this guy?
Yeah. That never works when you.
Come to find out, it's actually Anthony.
Me and him kept on having to have like backroom discussions where like. I was like, oh yeah, dude. Like,
so what do we do? Do we ground him or something? Like you fucking acting like his parents and shit.
It's like, oh, don't be too hard on him.
We're like sitting in there, like we're like all of us were drinking and everything, just chilling. I was like, oh Anthony, yeah, come over here. I'm like, dude, what the fuck is up with this guy?
Yeah, so I had a bunch of side conversations, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So by the time we got back from the trip, we had already been discussing firing him for a little while. Because he just held up too many things. He didn't have the songs down.
Yeah.
Everything was a priority before the band.
Okay.
Which is weird because he's the one that asked to be in the band.
Yeah.
But he made it seem like, we're the ones burdening him. And
So some people are like that, dude. Like, no, dude, I'm totally down. And then, like...
They just want to say that they're in a band.
Yeah, they're those friends that you make plans with. And then when you hit them up, like, yo, you ready? Like, oh, you know what? I got to feed my cat. So what is that going to take? Like 2 minutes? Nah, like 3 hours. Dude. I'm not going to be able to go.
Yeah, so by the time we got back, he ended up quitting, which we're like, all right, that saves us, some grief. And then it turned into this whole huge ordeal, like...
After? Like...
Yeah, because it ended up being linked with this other band he was playing with. So then their manager called me, and it turned into this big old argument. But then after, we're like, wait, he told you what? He told you what? We're like, what the fuck? And then...
turns out he was just full of shit the entire time.
Yeah, it turned out that he was bullshitting both of us.
Yeah.
And that then the reason why we were mad at each other was because of the bullshit he was telling us.
Yeah.
So that ended up...
Creating tension where there wasn't tension to be had.
It was really weird. Yeah, so then we ended up cutting him off. A little bit later, everything was going great with our vocalist. Like, we had just visited a new studio, and we were getting ready to do some new stuff. We're working on everything. We're just going to start wrapping up the album that we currently have out. And then he just told Anthony, he's like, I don't want to be a vocalist anymore. He's like, I'm done. But then we still had 2 songs to record.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So we're like, all right, well, can you just finish these up?
Yeah.
You know, well, that'll be that, and we'll let you go. And he's like, no.
Wow.
And he's just like, oh, I can't do vocals anymore. It makes me cough blood, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Well, he's not doing it right.
2 more songs.
No, it wasn't even that because, so like, I don't know what it was. It's just he was trying to think of excuses that we would not question, that we would not push him on.
Yeah.
So
sorry, dude. I can't. Like, so whenever I sing, dude, I get a boner. I just get a fucking erection.
So he tried to make it into like a health concern, where if we pushed him, that we could possibly be putting him at risk.
Yeah.
So
that's it. I mean, yeah. If you want to get away with it, I guess. Like.
Yeah, but it's like it doesn't take like a doctor to figure out like that doesn't make sense. Like you wouldn't cough up blood doing anything with your vocal cords.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense. Like the anatomy's not there for that to happen. And so he ended up leaving. Like that was like the summer of 2016.
Was this the lineup that you spent most of your time with? Like, is this did this last?
The entire album was pretty much just me and him. Like I played bass on it. We did the guitars. The vocalist was the one that stayed with us the longest.
Okay.
Because it's all his vocals on the album itself. But then the drummer, he did the drums on the album, but I pretty much just sat there with him and like
walked him through all the entire
pretty
thing,
much like what kind of feel we're going for and everything. Like, and then the bass player wasn't even in the band. Like I did all the bass on the album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't come in until after the album was completely done. But on to him. So it was a 3-piece, just me, him, and the bass player. We're having lots of problems with him. He wouldn't show up ever. He was super unreliable.
I mean, I guess it's got to get pretty, unmotivating. You like, oh, we don't have a drummer. Now we don't even have a vocalist. What the fuck am I going to do? Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that puts a lot of strain on all the members, at the time, but...
the bass player, not so much, because I'm the official manager, but I share a lot of my, I guess a lot of my duties fall onto him as well, because, I handle a good percentage of all the things that we're doing and all the, I guess...
Like bookings and whatnot?
Thinking, I guess laying out the plans and everything like that.
Okay, so like the attack, like the plan of attack.
Yeah, like I'm the one that forms a lot of the plans. Like most of the things you see from us and most of the things that we do are things that I've figured out, but he shares a lot of that with me. Yeah. Well, like I'll go over everything with him, get input, and then we'll kind of refine the strategy together. So the bass player, not really. Like in that situation, it was just kind of like we told him what was happening, and he was just like, "Oh, okay." Like,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then we're just like, we're figuring it out though. Like, it set me into a bit of a depression just because we had gotten to that point where we had the full band, all the work that we'd been doing. Because at that point it was 2016, so we had already been doing like a year and a half worth of work. Yeah,
you dedicated a whole year and a half to this project that you finally got started, that you finally got rolling on with somebody that is a great is a good writer and knows the business aspect of it. Like you don't want to see this fall apart. I can imagine. Like,
and then 3 months after we had everything figured out, it all fell apart.
You finally get everything all together and you're like, fuck yeah, like this is happening, and then it just like piece by piece just starts crumbling up. So what'd you do after, like once the lineup pretty much fell apart and it was just you two guys again? Like,
well, I went back because we had what's it called, pre-pro recordings of all of the songs, and the 2 songs that he didn't finish were Lex Talionis and Extinct. So I had to go back and edit the pre-pro vocals and clean them up the best I could so that we could use them for the tracks, because there was no taking that off, because we already have like a lot of releases planned out. Yeah. And there was just no taking that off and putting it on somewhere else. It just didn't make sense. And it made the album feel kind of incomplete. Yeah. So I just cleaned them up, which is why if you listen to Extinct or Lex, the vocals are like really low in some parts, and just not
cleaned up as they should be.
Yeah, they just don't sound as good as they should.
Yeah.
But we did what we had to. I figured it out. I spent like a day on YouTube going over how to de-ess, how to compress certain things.
Teaching yourself now, like learning new tricks, for your arsenal of what to do as far as sound engineer goes.
Yeah, so I did all that. We sent it into the studio. It worked out that way. And then we were having a lot of issues with the bass player. He wasn't showing up. We didn't know if he had the songs down. We worked with Legator Guitars, and they were going to hook him up with a bass for a lower price. So we're like, all right, cool, because he didn't have his own bass. He was using mine.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, here's your chance.
You got your own bass, dude. You have an opportunity to get yourself set up.
And he just wouldn't take the opportunity. He didn't want to put the money in. So it just dragged on to the point where we met with a new drummer, and I just told him, I'm going to tell him this is a mandatory meeting.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't show up, he's fired.
Yeah.
I didn't tell him that if he didn't show up, he was fired. But I told him, if you're a part of this band, you're going to be at this meeting.
You got to come.
Yeah.
And he didn't show up. He didn't even respond. He read the message, and that was it. So we fired him. And he got super butthurt about it.
Really?
He tried to steal my bass. But
obviously,
he forgot that I know where he lives, so I literally
had to go over there and knock on his door.
Yeah, I literally drove over there, knocked on his door. He opened the door with
oh shit!
He's like,
that look on his face,
he's like, do you want your bass? I'm like, yeah, go get it.
That's so fucked up, dude. I can't believe some people try that, dude. They fucking do that shit.
It's even worse because he was one of my best friends in high school.
Yeah,
we had lost touch and reconnected
and then
but it's for it to sink that low, and then the drummer ended up not working out, so we had posted drummer wanted ad,
yeah,
and he has the audacity to put a little laughing face on it, and it's just all right, dude,
who
the fuck are you?
I know, yeah. So whatever, it's but dude, it's still going though. You guys, your music's still out there, it's still being played. I mean, I'd like to think that I'm helping contribute with that in somehow.
We definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I of course, I'd love to do this for and help you guys out and and like I said, it's not ending for you. You guys are still putting it all together and rekindling the fire again. It's not out, but it's still it's still there. The fucking attitude's there, and the dedication's still there. You guys, I'm pretty sure you guys are still writing music and putting more shit out.
Oh yeah,
this isn't it's never ending. I mean, so. Now you're getting everything. It's starting to look like it's rolling again. It's coming all together
again,
right?
Rolling again.
Yeah, we picked up our bass player Sydney last year, which was such a weird chain of events because she had hit up our page before we got the bass player that we had in the music video.
Okay,
but
okay. So she was someone that you already knew even before all this happened.
Not really, because this is what happened. So she hit us up because she found us on what's it called? What's that site that you use called? Bandmix, yeah. She found us on Bandmix. She really liked our stuff. So she hit up our page on Facebook. I go to respond. She's like, hey, I saw you're looking for a bass player. And she gave a little quick introduction. So I hit her up. I'm like, yeah, we're still looking for a bassist. So, do you have any samples of your stuff or anything? I never get a response. So I'm like, all right then. A year later, almost to the day, a year later, she hits us up. Hey, are you guys still looking for a bass player by any chance? I look at the Facebook messages. My message from a year ago never sent.
Oh my god.
So I go to respond. I'm like, actually, we are looking for a bass player. As soon as I hit that, the message from a year ago sent. I was like, what the fuck? So
oh my god, she's finally getting her answer from a year ago. She's probably looking at what the fuck what is he talking about right now?
Yeah, she's even told me, she was like, when you guys didn't respond, I thought you just found a bass player already.
Yeah.
So
I mean, ironically, you did, but
it was weird too because at that point we had the new drummer and everything too, and I even had her in the back of my mind where I was like, "Hey, you remember that chick that hit us up, asking if we need a bass player?" I'm like, maybe we should hit her up because we need a bass player.
Yeah.
And I was gonna hit her up at the end of that week,
and then she
messaged us like 3 days before I was gonna hit her up.
Yeah.
So
it's weird how it works out then. So I mean, so how do you feel then? How do you feel that she's working out with you guys? Like, is it?
She's great.
Yeah?
She's everything that we can ask for. She's dedicated. She's putting in her share of whatever we need. We got the Legator. We got the support from Legator Guitars. Immediately, I just asked them like, "Hey, we just got a new bassist. She's gonna need a bass," and then they just invited us down. There's like, "Hey,
that's fucking cool.
Bring her down." Yeah, because we'd already been up there a few times.
Now, wait, yeah, okay. So let's talk about your fucking guitars first of all, because the first thing I noticed, you're on the fucking, I don't even know what string it is for. Well, I guess if it's standard, the E string, the top string. And the fucking neck is still your entire hand, like your entire finger is still like, I mean, because you play a 6-string, like you're still like there's still room there, like there is no fucking room on those guitars, man. Like the neck is so fucking fat and like ridiculous, like I cannot believe that.
They feel really good though. Legator is amazing.
Yeah, they make their necks to where the 7-string feels like you're playing a 6-string.
Really?
The 8-string feels like you're playing a 7-string.
See, like, because it's so crisp and clean. Like you can tell that the guitar technicality is fucking there.
Oh yeah.
But like I look at those guitars, I'm like, how the fuck are you able to reach that? They're just so ridiculous. I couldn't get over it. But I mean, have you guys been playing, like you guys obviously play more than 6 strings? Has it always been that way, or
when he first brought me the material, he wanted to do some 7-string stuff, but then he also wanted to do some 6-string stuff. But I pretty much just told him, I was like, that sounds like a waste. We should just do everything to where you can play it on one guitar. So we don't need to constantly be switching.
So okay, but 7-string is what you guys is what you're playing,
8-string.
And 8-string.
Yeah. On that album, on Extant, he's 7-string almost every song. There's songs where I go 7-string as well, and there's songs where I go 8-string because there's like a Transcendence. I'm playing an 8-string. Yeah. And then he's playing a 7-string because there's a
I noticed that.
Yeah, there's a part where I do a rhythm on the 8th string. So like we switch a lot, but 7 and 8 strings. So
is pretty much what you guys are dabbling with.
Yeah.
Dude, that it fucking blew my mind the first time I saw you on your Instagram. I was like, dude, look at that fucking thing. Like his finger is as long as the neck. Like that thing is fucking fat, dude. I don't know how you guys fucking play.
Meanwhile, I can't even play chords on the ukulele without my fingers being like, what the fuck is happening?
Man, all right. So then, what do you guys got planned for the future after you get the lineup going again? Because obviously, I mean, you've played shows. Are you going to get back on that wagon and doing more shows this time? Because you already have a lot of music that's already out there. Is that the next step? Is now just like to get shows and to try to attract an audience now?
Well, the move after we get the full lineup would definitely be release music with that full lineup, because I feel that a band should always reflect the current state of it.
Okay.
Because I hate it when, especially because we're going to be having a new vocalist. Okay. I hate it when there's a new vocalist
singing old songs and it doesn't sound right.
No. When there's a new vocalist, which. There's never been a band, unless you're getting somebody from a cover band, that is going to sound exactly like the old vocalist. Yeah. So I want something to reflect that if I'm going to go see them. What does the new vocalist sound like? And you can't find anything. I hate that. So my thing is we need a current representation of the band. Okay. So the first thing would be releasing music with the new lineup.
With the new lineup, okay.
And then following that would be shows. But the shows would be... more seldom, because I feel that you making a live appearance should be an event. It shouldn't just be like, oh, they're playing again.
Yeah. Okay.
It should be like,
That's fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
finally they're playing. Like, let's look at this lineup. This line is badass. All right, we're going.
Yeah.
It should be something to look forward to rather than the norm. Like, oh, that band always plays shows. Why are we going to go
And
today?
you know, I'm sure, you know, with the connections that both of you guys made through the years and being in the scene and everything, that's probably not going to be a fucking hard thing to do, to get a decent show, get on the lineup of a decent show and make it an event, you know.
Yeah, that's that's where
that's the next
that's
step.
led up to this.
And then of course, and then of course you do your videos and everything. You're on Facebook, social media, and everything. And all of it's just at the Human Extinction.
Yeah, the Human Extinction on Facebook, and then on YouTube and
Instagram,
Twitter, and Instagram.
Let's clarify YouTube real quick. When you go to YouTube and you type in the Human Extinction, write band after that, because or else you're just going to get a bunch of fucking weird conspiracy videos and a bunch of weird people talking about, you know, the end of the world and shit.
You guys need to make a song called Conspiracy Theory.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the easiest way to find us, though, is just put THX Official. And that's where you can find us on Instagram. That's where
That's
you
your
can find
page.
us on
Yeah,
YouTube.
that's a tag.
Yeah, because the Human Extinction was already taken on most of those. And then, but THX rather than, because extinction.
Yeah.
Because they used
makes
to write
sense.
THE, and I'm like, So I was like, THX sounds so much better.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Yeah.
It also reminds me of the fucking
Oh yeah.
in the
Used
movies.
to scare me as a child. Loud ass noise.
Oh man.
Which I'm super surprised they didn't take.
Really?
Like, THX Official, they didn't take any of that. So that's all.
Dude, well, I mean,
If you
how
look
old
it
is that fucking company, dude? I'm pretty sure all those people are like in their 90s now. Like, they don't know how to fucking work a computer and shit. Oh man, well, it's been a fucking great fucking time talking to you guys. We're gonna go ahead and cap it off right here. I mean, it's always good to have a new band in here talking about their shit.
Yep. Let us know when you guys get your shows going.
Yeah, and of course, anytime you do put out new music, we'll always plug it on the page and everything, tag you guys in and whatnot. But we're gonna go ahead and cap the night off with another music another music video. And I actually didn't even know this existed, but this was the song that I played the first time I played you guys on an episode. It is the song "Extinct," which I didn't know you had a music video for. So we're gonna go ahead and play that. Is this another video that you shot?
There's a lyric video.
It's just a lyric video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go on, see, there you go.
Well, I
He
still
made
made
it,
it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you still put it all together and everything? Oh, so are you the video guy,
Yeah.
pretty much? Like, you're doing all the visuals and everything?
Yeah, pretty much all the media.
You make all the graphics, too?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. There you go. That's fucking cool. See, I pay a guy, so I'm not that fucking talented. But see, there you go. You guys got it all the way around. But again, thank you guys so much for coming on. And
We appreciate
be
it.
sure anybody listening to this to check them out. It's The Human Extinction on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, THX. And it's the same for Instagram, right?
Yep.
THX Official.
Yep.
Official. THX Official.
Yeah.
I need to enunciate my word. Unique New York.
We have an online store too.
Oh,
The
shit, there you go.
merch Store for Big Cartel.
Big Cartel.
Big
I was
Cartel.
going to say Big Cartel. And then, of course, you also have the Bandcamp, which has everything on it that you guys ever fucking did.
You could find us on
Yeah.
Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, all that too.
Everywhere. Anything that has music playing pretty much.
All of the music.
So, yeah. We'll go ahead and cap it off here, guys. Thank you guys again for coming in.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
everybody that
Thank you.
listens to the live feed and is going to tune into the episode tomorrow or tonight, actually. Like I said,
Yeah, it
we will
drops
be posting
tonight.
the audio episodes we will be posting right after the live feed. Maybe
Because we
about
forget.
yeah, maybe like give us like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and then it'll be up on SoundCloud. You could look it up there. But thank you guys one more time coming in. Thank you, man. Thank you, everybody. Thank God.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
But have a good night, everybody. And this is Extinct by the Human Extinction.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important message from the U.S. Department of Defense. This is not a test. At 6:36 Pacific Standard Time, we have detected incoming nuclear weapons heading to the metropolitan areas of Los Angeles, Chicago, Philadelphia, Houston, and New York City. Please take shelter immediately. Repeat, this is
cried. Most people were silent. I remembered this line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.